Hey, what's going on, everybody out there? This is Acadian Azeroth with Nerd Life Gaming, and also with Knights of the Round Table, and this is episode 2. Today we're going to be talking about the Dark Iron Dwarves and the effect of Blackrock Mountain within every single expansion. Uh, and this podcast, let me remind y'all today, this podcast is being brought to you by High Repair Bills. Are you tired of going into the raid and having high repair bills? Well, today, so are we. So, this podcast is brought to you by High Repair Bills. Driz, how do you feel about High Repair Bills?
I hate him. I hate him a lot.
Sel, how do you feel about them?
Really hate them.
Kosh?
Really suck.
They need to delete them from the game.
So, today's episode is brought to you by High Repair Bills. Alright, so, with Dark Iron Dwarves, who wants to start the conversation?
I'll start it. I'll kick it off. I really have been loving Dark Iron Dwarves and really getting into the lore and reading on it, and been looking for them to put them inside the game as playable characters. Because I know they have rich tie-ins to the game itself. And it's motivated me to play my Dark Iron Dwarf over my regular dwarf.
Alright, so let's shy away from talking about the playable Dark Iron Dwarfs. We're going to talk about the ones that reside within Blackrock Mountain, and we're going to delve very deep into the lore of the Dark Iron Dwarves today. Basically, where I'm wanting to start at is before the orcs came through the Dark Portal. And before Blackrock Mountain was even there, it was the Black Iron Dwarfs that brought Blackrock Mountain into existence. King Amblemar, back way back, the dwarven races, there were 3 races, there's still 3 races, but they were all under one king, and that king was Amblemar Bronzebeard, I do believe.
Wouldn't that also tie into Dark Iron Clan itself?
Yes. But we're gonna get to that where they break off, because it goes into almost every aspect of gameplay. Within like every expansion, Blackrock Mountain has something to do with every single expansion, whether we know it or not.
Right.
Starting all the way back with vanilla, because what had happened was there were 3 races of dwarves. You had your Bronzebeards, you had the Dark Iron Dwarves, and I forget what the third ones were. Anybody?
Wildhammer?
The Wild Hammers, yes.
The Wild Hammers. I'm reading this here, yes.
Alright, and basically all 3 of the clans were being led by Amblemar, correct?
Yes.
And, King Amblemar of the Dwarves. And basically, when he died, the Dark Iron Dwarves stepped up and said, hey, we want to be the leaders of the Dwarven people. And the Bronzebeard said, well, we want to lead the Dwarven people. And so did the third group, the one I keep screwing their name up.
Wildhammer?
The Wildhammers, yes. And basically, the Dark Iron Dwarves ended up attacking Ironforge, to go on the full offensive with the Bronzebeards. And also they went and attacked, what's that spot called? I want to say not Telbrad, Grimbatal,
Grimbatal.
for the other group. And when the other groups pushed them out of those places, the queen of the, not the queen, the I forget what the character's name was, but
Hang on, I got it. Here, I'll find it.
it was the leader of the, it was Thurzane's wife or girlfriend or something along those lines, but she died at Grimbatal, and it left a curse on his wife, and it left a curse on the ground at Grimbatal, so they had to leave, and which is why we find them in Twilight Highlands and also in the Hinterlands. But they didn't end up in the Twilight Highlands until Cataclysm, and they're still in the Hinterlands. But pretty much so, Thurazan ended up retreating from Ironforge, and he was trying to get back to the Redwood Mountains where they were struggling to survive. And basically the Bronzebeards were coming in from Ironforge, and the Twilight, what was it for the other ones?
The Wildhammer?
The Wildhammers were coming in from Grimbatal and just basically surrounding them, and the Dark Iron Dwarves had nowhere to go. And so as a last-ditch effort, Thurzane called a Hail Mary and tried to summon up the elementals to come help him, without realizing that he summoned the baddest elemental on Azeroth, Ragnaros.
By fire be purged.
Yes, by fire be purged. And basically, that was how Blackrock Mountain was created. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Ridge?
But
no,
yeah.
I'm reading all this, and it's right. The Wildhammers went north to I'm gonna say this wrong, right? Dun Algaz, and began to rebuild their kingdom on their mountain of city of Grimbatal. Yeah, like you said.
Yeah, and the others.
And it mentions Red Ridge and
Yep.
Thurazane, or whatever his name is.
With the Red Ridge, the orcs that were coming in from the Blasted Lands, the Alliance was capturing them and putting them in internment camps and working them like slaves, basically. And we pushed them back through the Dark Portal and Burning Crusade. We all know the story.
Right.
And
there was a death of a High King. I'm gonna screw up this name. Motimus and Vilmar, and he eventually died, like you said.
But basically, the Blackrock orcs that we see running around over in like Red Ridge Mountains and all of that, they're basically the escaped slaves that all banded together, and they went in to ask one of the dragons for help. And Thurazane ended up tricking everybody, and he ended up sending a group into Ironforge, and they kidnapped Magni's daughter, before he ended up being basically a crystal.
Alright.
And basically his daughter, she wasn't treated as a hostage. She was treated with respect. They actually listened to what she had to say, and she ended up falling in love with Thurazane, and they ended up getting married. And they actually ended up having a son, and they're all at the son and Magni's daughter are all over at the in Ironforge now. Thurazane, however, ended up dying horribly when they went to go get Magni's daughter back. And
Is that who the okay, so it talks about the three hammers, and you go over to Ironforge, and there's the three Iron Dwarfs, or not Iron Dwarfs, just dwarfs, but one of them is a female.
Yes, and she's the speaker for the Dark Iron Dwarves. That's Magni's daughter.
Okay, but yeah, there's only one female there. The other two are guys.
Yes. But her and Therazane had a son, or I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. If it's Therazane or if it's pronounced another way, but the leader of the Dark Iron Dwarves and Magni's daughter ended up having a son, and as far as I know, their son, we could have already met him, but he really hasn't made a big impact on lore yet. At least not as Magni's grandson. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I have yet to hear from him too.
What I'm honestly thinking, how many of y'all remember back in WOD? Remember that slippery bastard that wore the head wrap? What was his
Yeah.
name?
I can't think of his name. I know.
I think wasn't Hansel.
Oh, the Black
Hands,
Dragonfly. Yeah.
Yes.
I can't think of his stupid name, and I hate him so much.
Yes, that guy was
Little
annoying.
Turban boy. What was his name?
Oh, Prince.
Prince something, but he was the son of Deathwing, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Rathian.
Rathian, yes.
Yeah.
Prince Rathian. I hate him so much, and everybody decided to cosplay as him.
If you honestly think about what we're talking about today, it even goes back to, like, in Cataclysm, the effects of Blackrock Mountain for Cataclysm. Where did Deathwing get his start?
Rathian in Blackrock?
Yes,
Kata even told us
would have been where he was born. The Chromatic Dragons in Wrath of the Lich King. They're grandsons of dragons that once lived in Blackrock Mountain. So, I mean, it's all on point there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of tie-ins with that place, and also with the Dark Iron Dwarves. You know, and one thing I wish Blizzard would do is open up more. I want to see more of Blackrock City. You know, because it would be amazing for them to open up as a playable zone.
Like, not only that, but you get to go deeper and see where, like, the deeper aspect of the city of the Dark Irons.
Yeah, I would love to see, like, you actually be able to go to the Dark Iron City, like, their actual city that they have in that zone.
But yeah, when you make a Dark Iron, you're only touching the tip of the iceberg of their zone. You're not really going that deep into it.
How about an entire expansion where you go underground and hell out the Dark Iron?
Well,
that'd be cool.
They'd have to put above ground stuff in as well, but yeah, that would be cool.
I'd be down for helping them. I mean, honestly, as a horde aspect, would you be helping them too, or only as alliance? Because they'd have to respect both sides.
The horde would be able to help the Blackrock orcs, because
right.
You know, they are kind of a viable race for playable.
Right, the counterpoint for them.
Malkorok was one of them.
And once again, they go right back to Blackrock Mountain.
Seems like all roads lead back there.
I've never been that big of a fan with the drawers or Dark Iron Drawers, but once I started getting more into the lore of it, even Blackrock Mountain, like, that was just, okay, this is actually pretty cool.
Now,
like, just to see how far the Dark Irons go back.
Hang on, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. In the Warcraft movie itself, there is a massive battle at the foot of Blackrock, wasn't there?
Yes, and that's when the orcs got pushed back.
Yeah, I remember that Blackrock scene.
The Dark Portal.
I remember that Blackrock scene, that fight. I'm like, dude, that's Blackrock.
Yeah, but it's so nice to see, like, you're able to do more with this expansion with the Dark Iron. Like, there's so much more explaining. Like, they're the ones that are they're experimenting with Azurite on the Black Anvil in their city
Well,
and
yeah, the other
everything.
thing I wish they would do, I mean, they just barely touched on it in one expansion, that was it. I kind of wish we'd get more interaction and more lore and background in the game of the Wildhammers. You only really touch on them in one expansion, and that is it. Because they were in what's that zone called? Um, Twilight Highlands, and
Yep.
that was it.
Well, they were in Classic as well.
Yeah, but they were not in the forefront of the storyline. They were just kind of. I mean, yeah, you came across them, but
You didn't come across them that much.
no,
Like,
and that was
It
when
is
some of that.
Twilight Highlands.
when I didn't come in until Mist, and I didn't see them really that much because of where I was leveling. And I didn't see them until I went to the Twilight Highlands. So seeing them more out and about would actually be really, really cool.
Yeah, I would love to see their interaction with one another. You know, here you've got the Wild Hammer, and then here you've got the Dark Iron, and their interaction or their butting heads or whatever they're going to do. Um, that's what I would like to see. Their interaction with one another and what would come off of it.
Now, for everybody out there listening on Spotify or on YouTube, we've got a special announcement to make right now, guys. Pretty much, I don't know. There's really no special announcement. But we're going to be on Spotify here within the next couple weeks for everybody out there in YouTube. Come check us out. We'll be under the name Lore Horrors. Come check us out. We'll be on there. We're not on there yet. Just when we get on there, I'll put a link in the description below and all that good stuff. All right, for the Knights of the Round Table, do we have any closing thoughts?
Only I hope we have another reason to go back to Blackrock Mountain and see more of the Dark Iron clan.
Agreed.
I agree with that.
They
And
haven't. They have so much there. Like, what? Come on, Liz. Let's see something.
and let's see more interaction between the Wild Hammer and the Dark Iron.
And I think they can develop Moira more too.
Moria, yeah. Yeah, there needs to be more interaction between the three leaders.
All right, so this is Akedi and Azeroth, and we are out. Everybody, remember, as always, have a great day, great evening, great night, depending on what time you're listening or watching this. Thanks for listening. Remember to hit that like button. Make sure to comment and subscribe if you haven't already.